TVC Breakfast. Now to continue the conversation, we'll be taking you to the Center of Unity where Shomomo is standing by with the FCT brief. He's going to be talking about security. Good morning, Esho and Akwana. The conversation is with you.
Yeah, Riyadh. Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to FCT Brief. Now, your trusted platform for thoughtful conversations on issues shaping Nigeria's security, diplomacy, and national interest. Now, today, we are reviewing a subject that has sparked intense public debate and strategic concern, and that is the presence of United States troops in Nigeria. Now, the question on the lips of many Nigerians is this military engagement a vital strategic partnership aimed at strengthening counterterrorism efforts, intelligence sharing, and regional stability, or does it raise questions about sovereignty, long-term security risk, and the broader implications for Nigeria's defense architecture? As global powers recalibrate their interests and security footprints, these questions demand careful and informed discussion. To provide perspective grounded in experience, we are joined this morning by Capt Bish Johnson, a retired United States Army personnel with deep insight into military strategy, international security cooperation. He will share his professional assessment of what this partnership means for Nigeria, the benefits and concerns involved, and what Nigeria should understand about the evolving nature of foreign military presence on our soil. Now, nice to have you here, Captain.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, before we go into having the U.S. troops in Nigeria, let's just quickly talk about the attack in Kayama local government in Kwara State and also in part of Benue State. I think Nuku and Goro community in Kwara State and also Abande community in Benue State. Now, if we expedite the action of putting in place the state police or community policing, whatever we call it, will it make any difference in the security architecture in Nigeria?
Yeah, it can make a difference, but I'll tell you that it will take more than that for us to fix this almost 2-decade entrenched insecurity in Nigeria. I've been consistent that we have to do something serious about our borders. We have to. It's been stated time and again that the people who are killing Nigerians, at least if not all of them, but most, are coming in from outside Nigeria. So what we seem to be doing is what I would liken to an analogy where your house is flooding, right? Instead of going to isolate the inlet valve that supplies water to your house, you abuse the bailing the water, and your house kept flooding. We need to close the valve, and they will now bail the water. That is the permanent solution to the problem. You see, we can't kill our way out of this whole thing with the strategy that we are using. We wait, they will come in, strike, we'll deploy forces, and then they go to where we pull those forces from, they strike, then we go back to the other side, we pull forces, because our asset is constant, right? Our equipment is constant. I understand we can do procurements, but it takes a while. I understand we can grow capacity by hiring more manpower, recruiting more people. It takes a while before the people you're recruiting now are available to confront these challenges. And even if you finish training them, there are still some that will retire from the services. And so for us to build this capacity, we must have to take some radical steps to close the gap in terms of manpower, in terms of equipment, in terms of funding, in terms of training, to be able to stop these problems. But even at that, even if we have done all of that, and our borders still remain as porous as they are today, those challenges will continue to persist.
The conversation for whether we need to work on our border is something that we might take another day, because the argument will be, do you want walls to be built around across the border, or do we go the way of technology to fix it?
It can be all solution, or method. The former Chief of Defense Staff, who is now the current Minister of Defense, had put out that postulation of building walls before he retired as Chief of Defense Staff, and now he's back as Minister of Defense. Look, we have to use a combination of all of that. Places that we can build war, let's build war. Places that we can use technology, let's use technology. Places that we can use manpower, let's use manpower. It will be a combination of all of this. But our borders can't remain as porous as they are.
And the law that we need to tweak to get in community policing, if we have to do it, we have to do it fast.
We have to do all of those. Even as we secure our borders, we have to grow the manpower, the boots on the ground, whether they are state policing, local government policing, whatever it is.
All right, Captain, that leads me to the other thing. We just talked about boots on the ground, and we just got the news that the United States government is deploying men, boots on ground in Nigeria. And it has raised a lot of concern among Nigerians. To some, the U.S. is invading our territory, while others feel that, look, if you can't do it alone, why not seek other partners? Now, what's your thoughts, and what is the implication of having these boots on ground in Nigeria?
The U.S. is not invading our country. We are misreading this whole thing, particularly members of the media. Nigeria had an understanding, security cooperation understanding with the United States to assist Nigeria in combating the security challenges that had bedeviled us for nearly 2 decades that we have not been able to solve. And let me tell you something. There is no country in the world where you don't have military personnel from another country in those countries. There's no embassy that does not have military wing, does not have military department. Without these people, this small team that came in, there are still some U.S. military personnel in U.S. embassy in Nigeria. If you go to our embassy in Washington, D.C., we have military there. So is that considered invasion? No, it's not an invasion. It's an agreement between two governments that, look, we need your assistance. And from what I understand, from what I have read in the media about the size of the team that came in, that team is not a team that can be considered to be an invasion, because they said, even from your own knowledge, it's a small team. I don't know what the mission is, right? Because I don't know the branches or the unit where they came from. You have to have specific information as to the size of the team, their makeup, and for you to be able to determine what mission they are. But based on general knowledge, it is understood that this team is here primarily for what is called the ADT, Advice, Direct, Train, which will involve helping Nigerians to analyze intelligence information accurately, because you can gather intel. You may not be able to analyze it properly, and if you don't analyze it properly, it will be misapplied. And so they are coming in for surveillance purposes, intelligence analysis, and reconnaissance operation, and to advise and help to coordinate this intel so that between Nigerian military and African Command, so that the intel that is gathered and properly analyzed is more effectively utilized.
Okay. The challenge we have is that we have a security challenge that we've not been able to handle for several years. Is it out of place if the Nigerian government goes beyond just have, like you analyzed, initially you said you have military attaché in all embassies.
Yes.
And now it's a step further. We have other boots on ground beyond the attaché in the embassy. Then if it goes beyond that, do we have anything to lose if somebody is coming to help us defeat the enemy we've not been able to handle for years? Is it out of place?
Absolutely not. I'm even thinking that we should even go a bit further.
To what extent?
Until we are able to solve our problems. Because we have been dealing with this problem for 2 decades. We have been unable to solve it. If somebody says, look, I'll help you to solve your problem, you let that person help you solve the problem. For how long are we going to continue to run around in circles? How long? You can't continue to do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different outcome. That is a complete definition of insanity. So I am even thinking that based on the information that I've read from the media, that the small team is not enough. The U.S. has to do more. They have to do more. The United States has to do more, even in terms of manpower, in terms of funding and equipment, for us to be able to dislodge this hydra-headed, 2-decade entrenched insecurity in Nigeria. They should also help us in securing our borders.
No, but such bringing such troop into the country will have its own political implications. Well, some people have said they've identified some countries where the U.S. has intervened and it left a bad taste. They talked about Iraq, they talked about Libya and all that, and they said, look, check, where has the U.S. gone to, and the country is stable after, and those are some of the concerns people are raising.
Listen, the United States is not invading Nigeria. Nigeria welcomed the United States through a cooperative agreement to collaborate with them. The problem we have in Nigeria, which I have noticed and I've tried to tell members of the media, because you guys have a lot of power in trying to, shape perception. You can't be comparing apples and oranges. United States went into Afghanistan because Al-Qaeda, sheltered by the Taliban administration, led by Mullah Omar, attacked America and killed over 3,000 American innocent citizens. You can't expect that America will relax and be clapping hands for Taliban and Afghanistan. So Afghanistan was invaded because America must seek justice for their citizens that were slaughtered. Iraq, the U.S. went into Iraq because it was believed at the time from intelligence that was provided that Iraq was developing weapons of mass destruction in violation of UN resolution. And the U.S. went in there to enforce that resolution. And let me tell you, Iraq is not the outcome is not as bad as you people are talking about in the media. The media is talking about in Iraq. Okay. Let's go back. Let's finish the Iraq issue.
Just hold your thought. We'll come back to this.
Okay.
After this break. Just stay with